So this morning we have a really special service. Pastor Mike and I are just going to share briefly a little message, also just sharing about our community with everyone, our experience and growth over the past 8 years, and really how that is possible through the goodness of God. And then we're going to be hearing from our visitors.
So first of all, I'd like to just share a few things over the last 8 years, how we've come to where we're at today. And one of the things that really sticks out over the last 8 years is I remember 3 years into our ministry in 2017, we really hit a barrier. We really hit a challenge. We didn't really know how to move forward. We didn't know what to do. And we realized, we are so inadequate in terms of our knowledge of what it means to be a pastor, what it means to run a church. We came into this role out of inspiration and a desire to make a difference in the church and the movement, but we didn't really know what we were doing. And that really hit us in the face after 3 years. So around 2018, we made a lot of effort to really try to understand, what does it mean to be a pastor? And also, especially, what does it mean to try to pastor a church like this? And one of the things that we did was we really reached out and looked into the world of books and Christian books and pastors. And one of the things that we found was Pastor Rick Warren. And he's somebody I really look up to a lot. And he talks about how important it is for a church to have a vision. And without a vision, no matter how strong your history or your programs, it's hard to find strength to overcome the challenges, and it's hard to have a reason to keep investing. So in 2018, we came up with a vision for the community, and some of you were here for that, some of you weren't, but we spent about a year talking about the vision. We have 8 points in our vision, which is the back of the room, and we spent a series on each point in that vision. And so that's definitely been a very defining point in our ministry. It's not necessarily changes who we are or what we're doing, but it determines the kind of culture that we're committed to creating in this community. Guidelines by which we know that we can't deviate outside of these expectations that we created for ourselves.
Everything we do supports one of these points.
Yeah, everything we do supports one of these points. So I'm just going to go through them quickly because most of you have already seen them already, but I feel like it's important to share. Number 1 is that we are a place where people from all walks of life can find love, acceptance, inspiration, guidance, purpose, joy, and fulfillment. We are every person growing to spiritual maturity through studying God's word, prayer, making devotions, small groups, and taking on a ministry to care for the needs of and give to others. We are equipping every person for a significant ministry by helping them discover the gifts and talents that God gave them. We are building God-centered marriages and families that are the dwelling place of God and the cornerstone of a healthy society. We are sharing with the people of the Denver area the truth that has been hidden in the Bible until now, God's original purpose of creation, how humanity fell away from God, and our path to returning to God's ideal and dream. We own a beautiful and modern building that serves as a hub for all of our many family and faith-based activities going on throughout the week. We are a community that embodies the legacy of living for the sake of others and building the kingdom of heaven here on earth that our founders, Reverend and Mrs. Moon, whom we call the true parents, have passed on to us. So within these 8 points that we created and that we discussed and we shared about and had many conversations over, everything we do should fit within these 8 points. And I think Adonia and I have tried very much to be very in an integrity, because it's not enough just to have a mission statement or a vision statement, right? It's important to actually be following it, to take every part of our life, every part of our church, and make sure that it's in alignment with those things. Otherwise, it's just a piece of paper. It's just some words on a piece of paper. So I know that that's something that we've really tried to do, and over the last 8 years, I always in amazement. Of course, we always have our ups and downs, but I'm always in amazement about how things have grown and developed and changed. And many people have commented that the community that you see today here in Denver doesn't resemble the community that we saw 8 years ago. Just a few things that we pulled together in terms of numbers. In 2014, our average attendance, give or take, was around 50, maybe 60 people. We didn't have a lot of young families and very few children. And this year, so far, our average is around 123, something like that. So that's a huge difference over the course of 8 years. Our demographics have changed so much over the last 8 years, and you can see here, our largest demographic is that 0 to 18 group, which is over 80 children. And, that's why we focus on investing so much in youth ministry and summer camps and family camp and like the 9 to 12 camp. They've already decided they're going to do another 9 to 12 retreat in the summertime. So that's awesome. And the kids deserve the investment and attention that they're getting. And I love seeing just like a well-rounded. Our 40 to 60 group is a little lacking, so wherever you are, got to step it up. Yeah, well, we're moving into that age group pretty quickly. Yeah. Yeah, some of you also, I guess. Tithing, we've seen a steady increase. Like I said, always ups and downs, but from 2008, our yearly tithing was under 100,000, around 90. And then, last year we really broke through to 175,000 or so. So a big difference, almost not quite double, but seeing a steady increase over the last 8 years, even through COVID and everything, is definitely very encouraging, and we're very grateful for that. It allows us to do more. And those are just a few numbers that I just wanted to share over the last 8 years. Of course, the numbers are one thing. The results and people and inspiration is obviously more important, and I think are obvious, I hope. And I'm going to pass it now to Pastor Adonia, who's going to take up from there.
I don't know if you saw the first slide. The title of this short message is called The Beauty of Ownership. And this draws from this vision point that we are equipping every person for a significant ministry by helping them discover the gifts and talents that God gave them. So I think it's not just something we say, it's something that we really believe in the depths of our heart, that each person is this unique embodiment of God. There is nobody else in the world that can reflect God's love the way that you can reflect God's love to this world. And so no matter who you are, no matter how old you are, no matter how young you are, there's something special that you have to offer this world that nobody else can give. It's there inside of you. So our job is just to help facilitate that. When we first became pastors, many times we're like, we don't know what we're doing, okay? But we want to help you to do whatever God calls you to do. We see ourselves as facilitators, just to equip you, to help you. If you need support, we'll give you that support to the best of our abilities. But the idea is that each person has something amazing to offer to this community and to this world. It's a deep belief that we have. And I believe that these numbers that you've seen is simply a reflection of people taking that ownership. I'm going to, actually, before I go much into that, this is a really beautiful quote by our true father. "Let us become the true owners of Chanilguk, who practice true love in resemblance to our Creator, the Heavenly Parent." And so we are no longer in the Old Testament age. We're no longer wandering through the wilderness. We're not no longer blindly following. We are now living in the age of Chanilguk. We're the owners of Chanilguk. And so I think that this is really the message that our Reverend Moon, True Father, tried to give us in the last years of his life. It's like, I'm passing this on to you. You are now the owners. So you have license to not only follow, but to actually embody God and reflect and resemble God's love. So as you saw in those numbers of those increases of attendance and tithing and growth of people, behind all of those numbers is a lot of intentional actions from each person in this community. In January, we had a special service. We did a volunteer recognition service, and we printed a list 7 papers long of all of the different roles and all of the different people who volunteered in all of these different roles. I counted them up this morning, and there were 135 volunteer roles that were filled almost weekly. Some of them monthly, but almost weekly. There's only 152 adults in this community. So some of these people are repeat offenders, okay? Repeat volunteer people who are taking on many roles. And honestly, some of them are the children. We've got our music ministry and our cafe ministry, but everything from the food bank to the welcome team to Sunday school teachers and youth ministry to music ministry, construction and maintenance, cleaning, leading hikes and outings, church council and finance committee, marriage courses and date nights, Blessed Family Ministry, carp care, Kodan volunteers. All of these things are coming together. And when we first came here, we were like, how do we give a Sunday service? That was our focus, was how do we just get our basic responsibilities done, right? These aren't, and most of these are not roles that we created and tried to fill. We didn't think, we need to have a marriage and date night ministry. That wasn't our idea. Most of these roles came out of you. Right? You saw a need. You felt a calling. You felt, I might actually be equipped in a special way to offer something to this community. And so that's where the growth and everything has come from. I think about our True Father, right, our Reverend Moon, who received an inspiration, received a calling, received a message from Jesus to pick up his mission. And he refused it 3 times because who wants to take on that responsibility? But also, he wasn't going to take it lightly. So he knew that if I take ownership of this mission, I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to give 100% to the end of my life. And I think sometimes we're in that position too, where we feel called to something, but it's scary. We don't know if we're ready for it. We don't know if we're equipped to do the thing that God has asked us to do. But I think the beauty of it is that when we commit, we can be equipped. This is you probably know the story from Moses. Moses was maybe not the most qualified in the eyes of men to lead all the Israelites out of Egypt. But God called him. God put a calling on his heart, and he was like, I know this is what I have to do. But he said to God, who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the children of Israel out of Egypt? I'm not qualified. I don't know what I'm doing. But God said, I will be with you. And then Moses said to the Lord, pardon your servant, Lord. I have never been eloquent, neither in the past nor since you have spoken to your servant. I am slow of speech and tongue. Moses did not speak well. He had a lisp. He had a difficulty to get the words out. But the Lord said to him, "Who gave human beings their mouth? Who makes them deaf or mute? Who gives them sight or makes them blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go, I will help you speak and I will teach you what to say." And God equipped Moses, right? He gave him Aaron to speak for him. So I think that the Bible is full. God tells us so many times in the Bible, "I am with you," right? I will be right beside you. Even though I'm in the valley of the shadow of death, God is with me. It's easy for us to forget that, or just to look at our own shortcomings or our own weaknesses and feel like I can't. But I really want to give recognition to those of us who do anyway. First of all, to our true parents, right? Also, we have Dr. Yong visiting us. Yesterday, we heard from him up in Estes Park, and he said, "I am the expert in morning devotion." Nobody told him to do morning devotion, right? He had a mission and responsibility, but he took ownership of it. He said, "What do I have to offer that will help me fulfill my mission?" And he said, "I can do morning devotion better than anybody else." I can be 100% committed to it. So he took that ownership, right? I think Pastor Mike and I also, coming here, we made a commitment, and we certainly didn't know everything that it would take to be pastors, and we're still learning. But we did make the commitment, and God is equipping us along the way. And the beauty of this community is that many of you are listening to God's calling on your heart. And you're finding the ways to make it happen. And so whether that is you today or not, or maybe you feel, "Oh, maybe I'm not, maybe I haven't done that. Maybe I still don't know what my calling is. Why does it take so long to figure it out?" That's okay. Do know that there's something that you have that nobody else has. You do. I know Kyle does. I think Kyle has a lot of unique qualities that nobody else has. And so it's through those things, through the studying God's words, the prayer, the devotion, right? Through taking those first steps that can open up our hearts, then we can hear God's calling, and then God can equip us. So we're just thrilled to see what the next 8 years will bring, and who will be brought to us, and what gifts they have. And maybe you don't know what your gift or your calling is yet. Some people find it sooner, some people find it later. But we're looking forward to seeing what you bring to the community as well. So that's the beauty of ownership that God gives us now. And that is Pastor Mike and my portion of this message. But next we'd like to welcome up Reverend Thompson. You'll find out he's a comedian at heart. And but he's been pastoring in the Bay Area for 30 years now, and he's just a wealth of love and God's word. So let's welcome up Reverend Thompson.
You have a lot of kids. Yeah, that's great. Many of the churches I go to, there's a lack of small children. So it's so nice for me to be back in Denver. I lived here for 3 years in Arvada. I say lived here. That was my base. I was an MFT, so I lived in a van most of the time. But even driving around Denver here, I see all these places, and I remember fundraising. I remember going in there. I remember that building. And the last couple of times I came here, I came for Sangwas. So when I met Hisako yesterday, she said, "Oh, you're here, and it's not even a Sangwa." Of course, the day is not finished. You know, True Father came to America first time in 1965. And he came here to make holy grounds, but also to connect to America. Something was going on in America at that time. There were two movements taking place. One was there was a drug movement taking place, the rise of the drug culture. And anybody remember Timothy Leary? Timothy Leary, tune in, turn on, and drop out, something like that. He's a Harvard professor promoting drugs. And the idea was free your mind. Free your mind. At the same time, there was a sexual revolution taking place. The sexual revolution was to throw off all of the Judeo-Christian morality. So therefore, anything goes. And the idea was to free your body. Free your mind, free your body. True Father came here to show people how to free your mind and free your body centered on God. Because that's the only way to free your mind and body, by getting rid of sin and fallen nature. You don't free your mind through drugs and free your body through sexual revolution. You need God to change your way of life. So in the 1960s, I really feel like the hippies and the people at that time were looking for God, and they were supposed to connect with True Father. Anybody see the movie that's out, Jesus Revolution? I'm not recommending it so much, but it's about that time, about all the hippies who got tired of the hippie movement and started looking for God. Well, there's another revolution or awakening or revival taking place in America right now. In Asbury University, there's this Christian revival of these people who just said, we've had enough of what you're giving us. We really want to know God. We want to know the Holy Spirit. And we want the truth. We only want the Holy Spirit and the truth. And I thought to myself, okay, what they really want is true mother and divine principle. That's where the Holy Spirit and the truth is. So we have to make a movement that is attractive to all those people who are looking for the Holy Spirit and the truth. So when I come to Denver Church here, I feel your church is alive because of all your young people. Young people means new life. Honestly speaking, when I first came to this church some years ago, there was pews in here. Anybody remember? It was a little bit drab. Sorry. I remember I came here and I thought, why did they buy that church? It's so kind of old-fashioned and drab. Now when I come back, it's totally different. And I want to praise Michael and Adonia for what they've done. Yeah, really. They've revived the spirit of the church, but also taken responsibility for the environment. And I commend you for that. And I'm so glad that now Colorado is part of Subregion 5. Finally, you got into the best subregion. It took a while, but you made it. And Subregion 5, we are here to serve you. So in the last couple of years, we've been able to help with Camp Journey and blessing workshops and wherever we can help, especially with youth and young adults. That's where Subregion 5 can help you. So you really need to know this lady over here, Gabby. She's She's the Secretary General, but she's also working in all areas of youth and young adult activity. And she's working with your people here in Denver area. So thank you. Thank you for making such a beautiful community. Let's make it even more beautiful. We doubled the congregation, we heard, right? Let's double it again. Let's keep on growing. So that you have to get here an hour early, else you won't get a seat. Right? I've been trying to get the people in the Bay Area Family Church to come to church on time for 30 years. 30 years I've been, emphasizing, God is waiting for you. Please come early. It's not good, And then Dr. Yong gives morning devotion about you need to be at church on time. The following week, boy, it was packed by kickoff time. That was very unusual. What? We'll see how long it lasts. But anyway, let's make a church that we love, that we're proud of. Let's really make a church that the people who are looking for God, looking for the Holy Spirit, looking for the truth, they want to come to Denver, Colorado Family Church. Should we do that? Yeah. So, there's a danger when you give a preacher a microphone, but I'm not here to give the main message today. You're very fortunate today that we have from headquarters our national president with us. And our national president was assigned by True Mother. When Dr. Yong first came to America, the first job he had to do was find a national president, because our previous national president was taken to Asia. So Dr. Yong had to find a national president, and True Mother said, it's time for a second generation president. And I think she made a great choice in appointing Naokimi Ushiroda, because he and Dr. Yong complement each other so well. And their unity together is what makes the foundation for our growth in America. So you are very fortunate today to have with us our president, Naokimi Ushiroda. I'd like to invite him up to say some words to you.
All right. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Last time I was here, it was before you guys did this renovation, because I remember the dark carpet, and this part was open, and it might have been actually over 15 years ago that I came here last. So anyway, it's great to be back and to see a much more modern and a beautiful space to gather. Also, some people, I don't know so many of you. Well, I mean, you may have seen me on National Family Service or something like that. Maybe about a third of you I know, but one person I do know more closely is my brother here, Gilo Fleischer. We were fellow students on campus when we were at the University of Pennsylvania. And just one quick story. I remember Gilo was doing Sunday school, I believe, and I was doing CARP. And, in CARP, we're supposed to be model students. The problem is we're so busy doing mission that my grades were going down. And I remember one time, one class that we shared was Legal 101, Legal Studies 101. And the whole semester, it was so much reading that I didn't even open the book. And it was finals time, and I was sweating, and I just begged Gilo, please help me. And so we did an all-nighter where he tutored me on the whole class for the whole semester. And I got an A- for the class, so thank you, Gilo. Thank you, Gilo. Anyway, today, actually what I wanted to share was on the vision for Family Church. So I really want to commend Mike and Adonia. They started to really initiate and organize local church before we really got organized around local church. And what I mean by that is, historically, we've been always a providential church. And whenever there was a providential need, all our resources were poured into those different providential activities. So in honesty, we never really focused on local church growth. But during that time, really, Mike and Adonia led the way. Of course, they had the privilege of being a little bit far away from headquarters. So they were able to really initiate, starting with a clear vision and intentional activities. So when I became president a couple years ago, I really felt like I wanted to do the same for the national organization. And so since that time, I've been trying to clarify and hone in on what is our purpose as Family Federation. Something that can last even beyond the lifetime of our true parents here on earth. Because I'm really thinking about sustainability and long-term vision and mission for our organization. So today I wanted to share briefly about what I've come up with so far, and this is across the board for all churches nationwide for Family Federation. So this is the vision for Family Church in 2023. So let me ask you a question. What is our purpose in life? What is our purpose according to the principle? Yes.
Well, we have to accomplish what God wants of us. We have to build a better world than has ever been seen.
Okay.
And each of our families have to do our part to do that.
Okay. Building a better world, right? It's in that has ever been seen. And it's in our name, right? Family Federation for World Peace and Unification. Our mission is beyond our family. It's about creating world peace. But if you bring it down to the individual level, according to the DP, the ultimate purpose of the universe with human beings at its center is to return joy to God. I love this quote because it really boils it down to the essence. Ultimately, it's about restoring this original relationship between God and me, and our purpose is simply as objects of God's love to return joy to God. And many times we get busy with our mission and saving the world that we forget this essential point. It's about joy. It's about returning joy to God. And many times our serious, more missionary-oriented people are like, yes, God, we will make you joyful. But actually, God as a parent is genuinely, of course, there's a suffering heart of God, but when the children are authentically experiencing joy, then as a parent, God feels tremendous joy as well. The only thing is there's so many people suffering that God feels tremendous pain as well, and it's through sharing this original joy with others that we can really liberate God's heart. So, given that this is the purpose of our lives, what is the purpose of Family Federation? Well, I created a mission statement for Family Fed, and here it is, in 25 words or less. To advance world peace by empowering families to co-create the blessed family culture through the holy marriage blessing and the teachings of true parents. So this is the national mission statement, and really it identifies our main mission as an organization. We do want to create world peace, we want to further it, but the way that we do it is through empowering families. Empowering families, and to do what? It's actually to, I use this word co-create, and the co is capitalized because co-creation is about inviting God to work with you to tap into your unique talent and passion. As Adonia was mentioning earlier, really empowering each person, each family to really bring out the uniqueness of God's joy and create this blessed family culture. And our two key pillars of how we provide that is through the holy marriage blessing and the teachings of our true parents. So this is kind of encapsulating the whole mission for Family Federation in America at this time. Now, we also I encourage every community to create a local mission statement as well. So I'm also the pastor of the New Jersey Family Church. And here's a sample of what a local mission statement. So I don't mean everyone doesn't have to have the same mission statement. I trust that you're all aligned, centered on God and true parents and the principles. So with my community leaders, we created this mission statement for New Jersey Family Church. Our mission is to create a thriving community that embodies Heavenly Parents' true love by supporting families in developing their 4 realms of heart. So this is a little bit more specific, and the reason why I'm sharing this is because I believe, my background is I studied business in college, but in order to really thrive as an organization, you need to differentiate yourself. You need to show that you have something different or special that others don't have. And that allows people to really be drawn towards you. So what is really unique and special about our church? I believe it is the teachings with particularly the 4 realms of heart. And I think that if we can become specialists or exceptional in helping every family develop these 4 realms of heart, we will be, everyone would want to be part of us. Everyone would want to join Family Federation, because by going to Family Federation or by associating with Family Federation, they know that they're going to be supported in these essential 4 realms of heart, which is something that we all need, we all want. So that's kind of where I want to go with Family Federation. Beyond just a church, like a faith organization, I want it to be something of real substantial service to society. And again, how we do that is through empowering these 4 realms of heart. So I call it the 4 plus great realms of heart. You guys know what the 4 are, but I also added tribal, the children, siblings, conjugal, parental, and tribal. And for each realm of heart, I believe there's an objective, similar to how you had 8 points. And I feel like most of the 8 points that you have in your vision actually fall nicely into one of these realms of heart. So I think it's just worded slightly differently, but I try to organize around these 4 realms. So in the children's realm, it's really about helping people develop their authentic relationship between God and themselves, right? How many of you here are children? Okay, so some are like, yeah, I'm a child at heart. Those that didn't raise your hand, I guess you don't have any parents. Must be foster children. No, we all are children, right? We have biological parents regardless of how old we are, but more importantly, we are all children of God. Right? And so our mission to grow this children's realm of heart is not only until we're 18. It's actually eternal. And so even though we're adults, it's important to constantly cultivate our children's realm of heart. And that's what we provide through our church services and church activities. So in this case, the statement that I created was, in the children's realm, we enlighten individuals about God, their original purpose, and the advent of true parents. This is what Family Federation does in developing the children's realm of heart for each individual. Because our understanding about God is quite unique. And we help people enhance their own understanding of God through our teachings. We also help people understand the 3 great blessings, which is a brilliant way of explaining our purpose, and the 3 great blessings, and the advent and mission of true parents. Who are true parents? Why did true parents have to come? And what's their role in really building the kingdom of heaven? This is one of our core objectives of Family Federation. Second, siblings realm. So this is interesting. I think this is one of our strengths, and that is celebrate cultural diversity by modeling multicultural and interfaith activities, engaging others with respect and care as fellow children of God. One of the things that visiting pastors noticed first when they walk into our churches is that we have so many colors, so many ethnicities, nationalities. Now, you might think that's normal, but in most churches, it's usually one color or one ethnicity. And so for many people, when they visit our community, they're surprised at how diverse we are. And I think that's one of our strengths, and it's not by chance that that's the case. It's because of our True Parents' teachings that we're all one family under God, right? Regardless of your nationality, ethnicity, we are all children of God. So the siblings realm is about being able to really see each person as a fellow brother or sister under the vision or umbrella of one family under God. So this is, I think, how we celebrate siblings realm is really by promoting this cultural diversity. If it's, sorry, I know this, you weren't expecting a lecture or anything, but I think this is my strength or gift that God gave me is organizing things and trying to make it more simple. So please bear with me. There's only 2 more realms, actually 3 more. Okay, conjugal realm. So this might seem obvious, but this is one of our objectives. We empower marriages through supporting people in receiving and honoring the holy marriage blessing. Now the thing is, how we do that is there's 3 kind of categories, right? Empowering marriages for single members, and we help prepare single members for the blessing or for marriage, right? We also help people who are already married to receive the blessing and really include God and the family level salvation in their marriage and family. That's another group that we provide, or how we empower marriages. And the third group that we provide support for empowering marriages are who? Kids. Well, we did say the singles. We help singles kind of get ready for marriage, the marriage blessing. Who else do we help? Blessed couples, exactly. Just because you got blessed doesn't mean it's over. In many cases, it's just the beginning, right? So we prepare couples to get blessed. We prepared married people to receive the holy marriage blessing, but we also want to support currently blessed couples to continue to strengthen their marriage, right? Because we need to not just talk the talk or have great ideologies, we need to actually model what it means to be an ideal couple. And that doesn't mean you're perfect. It means that we're working on it. We're continually striving towards the ideal of true love between husband and wife. So that's what we do here in Family Federation. We empower marriages, okay? And fourth is the parental realm, support parents in raising their children with love, principles, and community. I think the community here is doing an exceptional job in this area. Really, in the parental realm, many parents struggle with raising children. Actually, all parents struggle. Any parents not struggle with raising children? Oh, wow, you're amazing. Looks like his wife is like, he's just ignorant. Right, it's not easy raising children, right? But imagine in Family Federation if we specialize in supporting parents and raising their kids in both truth and love, right? You can't just have truth. You can't just have principles, right? Otherwise, it's kind of cold. If it was just about follow and obey your principles, then, yeah, kids won't feel the love. At the same time, just giving love doesn't also work either. You need the balance of both truth and love to raise children. But I added this one point, which is community, because there's an old adage that says it takes a village to raise a child, right? So it's so important for parents, and it's such a relief for parents when there's a community that they can bring their children to relate with friends that have the same kind of values. And that's the real special aspect of having communities and local family churches. And so I really believe this is one of our strengths in Family Federation, is supporting parents in raising children with love, principles, and community. Finally, the tribal realm. This is like an expanded version of the family realm. And really, we want to energize tribal messiahs to expand this blessed family culture through sharing the blessing and practicing the teachings of true parents. So you guys who are involved in tribal messiahship, I'm sure you're aware of what that is, but I really want to emphasize it's not just about promoting the teachings. I really want to challenge tribal messiahs to model practicing the teachings. So it's not enough to just say, okay, the DP is amazing. We need to be able to serve the community we live in this case Denver, find out what their real needs are, and really each tribal messiah, I want you to find your unique way of serving the needs of the broader community. That's really what real tribal messiahship is. It's not just about giving holy wine and liberating your ancestors. It's really being mini messiahs, mini true parents for this community, beyond the church members, right? So again, we want the foundation of all those other four realms, but really we want to be a service to society. So these are the five kind of realms of heart. And there's just two more slides I'll leave you with. So what I envision for our churches all across the nation is what I call a community of aces. I love acronyms if you haven't noticed yet, but I thought a lot about this one. A community of aces where members are joyfully attending spiritually nourishing programs like you are today. Congratulations, good job everyone. And the kids are also attending spiritually nourishing programs at Sunday school. Great. C, contributing to support our community. Do you know what that means? Money, guys, money. It's not cheap running a church. So we really want every member to contribute their hard-earned money to support the vision of the community here. It's really important for your own spiritual and practical reasons for the community to contribute money. And E is educating themselves to grow their four great realms of heart. So don't just depend on the pastors. I want each member to really have a plan for themselves. What are you doing to grow each of your four realms of heart? Don't wait for the pastor, or just don't come once a week to receive spiritual guidance. Be active in your own education in these four realms of heart. And finally, serving, S, in a ministry they care about. This was one of the points that Adonia really emphasized. And I'm so happy to hear that most of the members are volunteering. Great, they're already serving in a ministry that they care about. So imagine all of our churches having a community of aces where everyone is attending, contributing, educating, and serving. That's the kind of local family churches we want to have all around the country to serve the society, okay? And finally, these are the 5 areas I'm asking for Adonia and Mike to report on a weekly basis. They recently joined the top 13 communities meetings. And so, yeah, please support them. This is part of the things that we're asking them to keep track of. Okay, so that's basically what I have to share. Thanks for patiently listening. And next, I want to invite up Dr. Yong. He is the regional president of North America and my boss. And as Reverend Thompson testified, we are kind of complementary to each other. I think both of us have grown a lot these past 2 years, learning from each other. And one thing I'd like to really testify about Dr. Yong is that he is really a man of devotion. And it's not just talk, but every day, you know how hard it is to give a message, right? Well, maybe some of you don't know, but to prepare for a spiritual message takes a lot of energy and effort. But Dr. Yong has been doing that since the third day that he arrived in America. He started morning devotion every day for the past, how many times is it now? 2.5 years. That's almost 800 something times, right? Every day without fail. And that's his commitment to the spiritual nourishment of our members in America. And based on that foundation, I can see so much growth happening throughout the nation. So I'm really grateful. He also has a personal attention to each person, trying to remember their names, and gives me a lot of personal love as well. So with that, I'd like to invite you to join me in welcoming Dr. Chung Yong.
안녕하세요. Wow, so very glad to see you. Just now when I hear the report from Michael and Adonia, I can feel like a very much promising future, and many young children are really growing very much. And Father said, in order to see that church development, just you check one thing. How many young children are really growing up very well? You need to check Sunday school. Then you know everything that church can see a promising future or not. You need to see the school of the kindergarten, Sunday school. I feel like tremendous hope here in our Denver church. And then, for me not easy to remember even 50 states' names since I came here. But it took a long time to remember. I now remember all 50 states' name, and then state leaders' name, and local church leaders' name. So happy. And then here Denver, then, Korean pronunciation Denver, Father always talking about Denvery. Denvery, then is like a dam. Dam means in Korea is a wall, and then body means throw away, and means break the wall. And then you can see God, you can see kingdom of heaven. That's why for here is when I hear Denver, very easy to remember the name of Denver. I hope really everything is really beyond boundaries and beyond any kind of colors. And then everybody can come and join together. We can create God's kingdom of heaven. Before coming here, I visited to Hawaii, Kona, because True Mother came to Hawaii. And then she invited some key leaders, and Naokimi and me went to Kona and met True Mother. Wow, she was very happy to see us and then give a very important direction as well. And then I can see whenever I met her at Cheonjeong-gung, she is so tense because so many leadership come, and then she need to make the decision. But whenever she come to Hawaii, so relaxed and show more smile. I was so happy to see True Mother such a bright face and a happy face as a children. Parents are happy and the children automatically feel very happy. And then she asked me to select some nice clothes and for Naokimi and me, and then I choose some very nice clothes. Only Naokimi do not know how to choose. She is not that kind of a guy. Last year when we had a CIG leadership meeting in Korea, I think I remember that is May in Korea. she and came to the Cheonilguk leaders meeting, and she particularly talking about American movement in all 5 sub-regional leaders, even Continental director. You need to focus on one particular church and then create model church to expand to entire movement in America. That was one of the true mother's very important direction. And then I came back from America, and then we gathered together with all sub-region leaders, national leaders together, and then we selected 7 churches to focus. Sub-region 1 is Clifton, New Jersey Church. Sub-region 2, Washington, D.C. Capital City. Sub-region 3, Chicago Church. Sub-region 4, Dallas Church. Sub-region 5, Los Angeles and Bay Area, and also Las Vegas. And then even though we are not yet 1 year, but I was very inspired to see these 7 churches really growing, and then all of them are seriously take ownership. I visited to 5 or 6 area to attend the family reunion service. I can see great potential. Since I started morning devotion, I can feel everywhere. Even does not matter you're old guy, junior guy, or senior guy. Everybody concentrate witnessing. And then I visit to America, Washington D.C. And then one guy, he's very famous divine principle lecturer. He came to me, he bowed down to me. He said, Dr. Yong, since last 10 years, 12 years, I'm very much focused on teaching divine principle, but no guest. America, we lost the spirit of the witnessing. However, since Naokimi become a national president, and you came and emphasizing the importance of witnessing, so many people now doing witnessing. You can see, every week I need to give a lecture. Many new guests to come and then teaching. Wow, our American movement, something like that. Really can see really great and a promising future he's talking about. So now we extend to 13 churches, and then Sub-region 1, KEA, and Manhattan Church, and also Belvedere, the first church in our movement. Through father, through mother, initiated Belvedere Church. You can see now one of the second generation. His name is Justin. Wow, almost now increasing the membership double, to increasing donation, many things. Really, I can see feel good hope. And then Sub-region 3, Minnesota and Ohio included, and Sub-region 5, and then included one more. That is our Colorado Denver Church, right? So thank you. That's why I feel our Michael and Adonia, I think, can do very well. In 2017, Turomada talked to us. She said, when you become 30,000 members, America will stand up. If America changes, the world will change. Mother gave us a very particular goal. You need to raise up 30,000 members, then you can see really completely different atmosphere. That's why we are doing all kind of the ministry, this and that. So we want to really fulfill our true mother's wish, which is goal about 30,000 membership. So my brothers and sisters, true mother's wishes, 3 kind of the wishes, right? And she, after father passing away, first mother's wish is, I need to declare Cheonilguk, January 13 in 2013. She done her declaration. And then mother's second wish is to offer Cheonil Temple based upon Cheonilguk Foundation. So coming very soon, May 5th in this year, Mother is going to really have an inaugural ceremony Cheonwon-gung in Korea, but because of the corona issue, raw material need to come from overseas, but delay, but we can do conditionally. So that is mother's wish. Second and last one, of course, even though true parents proclaim Cheonilguk, but true mother really want to offer substantial Cheonilguk. In order to create one nation, need to have three elements. Number one, you need to have a sovereignty. Secondly, you need to have a nation. Thirdly, you need to have a people. Sovereignty, we have a heavenly sovereignty, right? In order to build a nation, you need to have a people. You need to have a members. We have everything. We have God. We have true parents. We have eternal truth, which is the divine principle. We have the blessing, which is really salvation. Only lasting will remain. In order to establish Cheonilguk, we need to have what? We need to have what? Majority. Majority. We have everything, but we lack of majority. This is the issue. That's why, first of all, we need to reach 30,000 memberships in America. And then this one become one of the small majority and can expand to entire 50 states. So we really, these kind of things we need to properly need to arrange how to we, not just only about quantity. In order to increase quantity, need to be required quality. If you focus on quality, automatically we can increase quantity as well. So today I'd like to mention some point. How can we develop our church? So now we decided this Denver Columbia Church to be one of the model churches. Then how can we do? What is the best way to grow up? What is the best way to create the model church here? I'm not talking about the external numbers. I'm talking about the quality. What kind of the quality church should be? What capabilities and abilities are required in the age of Cheonilguk? We are now living in the era of the Cheonilguk, okay? Not Old Testament era, not New Testament era. True paradigm, many times mentioned, era of the faith, era of the belief already gone away. Now we are in the era of the Cheonilguk. Just now Adonia mentioned about that. Era of the Cheonilguk means era of the taking ownership. This is very important. So first point, the age of Cheonilguk requires an age in which the quality of love and heart become abilities and capabilities. The quality of love, the quality of heart requires in the age of Cheonilguk. This is the most important. How much do I have love? How much do I have a heart? What kind of the quality of love do I have? What kind of the quality of heart do I have? This is the number one important point. How can develop our church? Of course, we need to do management very well. We need to increase donation. We need to communicate. Everybody, take responsibility. Each one, you need to offer about your capability, your talent. That's fine. But what's the fundamental matter to develop our church? Number one, you need to upgrade your quality of love, your quality of heart. Otherwise, it does not make any sense. This is important. Each one of us taking on us, upgrading the quality of love and quality of heart. This is the best way to develop, our church. Not just only external power or knowledge or skill or, other things. Do you know? Just one person's quality of love changed 2,000 entire human history. Because one guy's quality of love and heart changed 2,000 years history. Who was that? Who gave that kind of big impact to entire world? Because of Jesus. Because of Jesus' quality of love. His public life just only for 3 years. Then how come he give the big impact to entire world? Not by skill, not by external things. When he crucified on the cross, bleeding from head, 2 hands, 2 legs, and Roman soldier kill him and then bleeding from his chest, even difficult to breathe. And then Jesus prayed to his enemy, Heavenly God, he does not know what he's doing. Please forgive him. Wow. Under that kind of the situation, forgive his enemy. What kind of the quality of love does he have? And according to Father's spiritual experience, the right side thief hear 3 times Jesus that come to prayer, forgiving his enemy. He does not know what he's doing. Please forgive him. He hear 3 times. And then this right side thief start to realize that he was very difficult, same as Jesus. I deserve to die. I was the murderer. I need to go to the hell. This is, because I am the sinner. But when you look at that Jesus, who is this guy? Under that situation, forgiving his enemy, he must be the Lord. He must be the Son of God. He testified. Who was Jesus? Father said, if rise and the thief do not recognize Jesus, that comes the quality of love. God cannot have any condition for him to be resurrected. Wow. I didn't come from, Christian background. And came to Unification Church, I learned the Bible. And then when I hear Father's story about Jesus, I totally accept he is my Messiah. Just 3 years public life. Because of his quality of love and heart, give a big impact to entire world and influence 2,000 years history. How can I change my mind? How can I change myself? How can I change my church? How can I change my community? None other than that. Quality of love. Jesus, his love, it was really genuine love. He is really, really true love. That's why just one guy have the true love. Change the world. Change all mankind. Change the history. Just one real quality of love. Genuine love. Change the world. If our members quality of love and quality of heart, oh my goodness, how much it can change our church. Not just only, about rely on Adonia and Michael. Now, era of the 천일국. If you have that kind of ownership, why cannot change my children? Because my quality of love is very low class. That's why before blaming my children, before criticizing my children, before you are saying very difficult to raise up your children, you need to upgrade your level of love and heart. This is the way. This is the only way our church become model church. This is the way our church can develop. So, in terms of the quality of love and church, Father simply say, but not easy to practice. What's the true love? Living for the sake of others. What does it mean, living for the sake of others? In detail, he said, unconditionally giving. Giving and giving and giving and giving. Completely forget what I had given. Still want to give more. And then sacrifice and sacrifice and sacrifice. Completely forget what I have sacrificed. Still want to sacrifice more. True love requires sacrifice. Without paying the price, true love is not true love. Finally, invested and invested and invested. Completely forget what I invested. Still want to invest more until my object partner should be better than me. Wow! When I hear Father say about the explanation of the true love, I totally amazed. If we practice that kind of way, this is the only way upgrading our quality of love and quality of heart. Secondly, the era of the 천일국 requires an era in which almost the sincerity, which we call 정성, that touches and moves God. Even spiritual world becomes capability and abilities. My brothers and sisters, second element to develop our church, quality of your 정성. 정성 is important. Father said, I am not capable. And then just now, Adonia about, she read some content of the Exodus, talking about the Moses. I don't know how to talk. And my talk is very slow, and And then God said, no worry. He providing, his older brother. My brothers and sisters. I don't have any capability. I don't have much of the power, anything to do. But Father said, one of the common points, you can move God's heart. You can touch God's heart through your degree of 정성. Your degree of 정성, your quality of 정성. Anyone can meet God. Anyone can touch God's heart. Anyone can move spiritual world. That's why the power of 정성 is really, really incredible. My brothers and sisters, water only boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Not 99 degrees, not 97 degrees. When your 정성 reaches to 100 degrees Celsius, then water starts to boil. When your 정성 reaches to 100 degrees, God doesn't have any choice. Need to help you, need to support you, need to mobilize. Does not matter you graduate university, does not matter you just only graduate elementary school. God is walking through the 정성. That's what Father said. I love the most important word is 정성. His number one slogan is utmost sincerity moves heaven. He said, to save these people on earth, God needs to invest his heart and soul more than Satan does. Otherwise, people in Satan's world cannot be saved. God's 정성 less than Satan, he cannot save even one person's soul. That's why God have to be a champion of 정성 more than anyone, putting his 정성 as the parents for each one of the human being. Messiah, true parents, came to this earth as the true parents. Father said, if my 정성 less than any central figure, let's say my 정성 less than Noah accused, you are the true parents of all mankind, your 정성 less than me, do you think you save the world? And then Abraham said, your 정성 less than me, how can you save the world? And then Jesus said, you came as the second coming, your 정성 less than me, how can you save the world? That's why true parents means he have to be a champion of 정성 more than anyone else. Father said, how to save the world? He just simply one word. Through utmost sincerity. That's why since I came to America, I don't know what to do. My English is not so great. My capability is not so great. What to do? But what I learned from Father, to move entire America, only one way, through the power of 정성, through quality of my 정성. How can I move entire America? Entire American movement. I need to put 정성 more than George Washington, more than Abraham Lincoln, more than any central figure. Then they came down. You look at this guy, just came from Korea. He's 정성 more than anyone. I no choice, I need to help. That's why I don't have any capability. How can I move God's heart? How can I move a spiritual world? Only one way. 정성. The quality of 정성. The degree of 정성. And all members gather together from early morning without missing a single day. Now going to be nearly 30 years. Father said, any 정성 reached to 30 years, you can see what kind of phenomena will appear. God handle everything. When your 정성 degree reach to certain degree, God handle everything. What I believe. That's why how to develop, how to grow our church here, Denver, Columbia Church. 정성. Your degree of 정성, the unity of 정성, with centering on our Michael Adonias leadership. Now already your church, you can see just in our report, in terms of the donation, in terms of increasing church membership, Sunday service, really developing. Well, I'm sure if creating that kind of 정성 become 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Why? 정성 really works. 아주? 정성 really works. So, and the third point, the era of the 천일국 requires an era in which 효정 becomes a capability. The degree of 정성, degree of the 효정, which is a filial heart, filial piety. Filial piety is a little bit light. Mother called 효정 means, 효 means a filial piety, and 정 means a heart, a filial heart. The quality of the 효정 change history. You look at that Isaac. When Abraham wanted to offer Isaac, according to father's spiritual experience, Abraham wanted to kill Isaac. All right? And then he really wanted to kill. And then angel appear and God appear. Stop. Stop. And then this son Isaac under the offering table. He does not hear anything. And then father like this, and then stop. And then loose his rope. And then Isaac talked to his father Abraham. What happened to you? I am ready to die. I can become offering to heaven. And then he go up again the offering table. He lay down. What kind of freedom has this? Because of his quality of Hyojung, change his story. Change his story. I was very inspired to hear Kevin Thompson's about a testimony about his prison life. He actually no need to go to prison. But if you just say one word, because of Reverend order, I do this thing. If you say something like that, he release. But he determined, no matter what, even death's coming, I want to protect my father. That kind of the quality of Hyojung. When I hear his testimony, I did not show my tears, but internally I cried. His name recorded in the book of life because of Hyojung. The quality of the Hyojung. My brothers and sisters. You know, Matthew 22, verse 34 to 40. Jesus said, what's the greatest commandment? Greatest commandment, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. That means you need to die for God. Even you willingly, happily, joyfully offer your life. You need to put God as a top priority. This is Hyojung. This is the greatest commandment. When you upgrade the level of Hyojung here, everybody love God. Everybody love true parents no matter what. Put God and true parents as a top priority, more than money, more than my wife, more than my husband, more than my children, more than my property and honor. This is greatest commandment, which is what? Hyojung. Hyojung. Why so many mega churches in America? I visit many mega churches. Then why they decline? Why church cannot see any more hope? Why? Because they do not put God first. God is even not secondary, not third. They ignore God, they kick out God, they chase out God. That's why young people do not come, cannot see God, cannot discover God in the church. How can we bring back God here? How can we invite God again here? Our Hyojung. Our Hyojung. Here many true children issue. But one thing, I don't want to criticize them. Just one thing. You need to know the meaning of the Hyojung. Hyojung means never, ever betray parents. Never. Never. That is Hyojung. And then I don't become the mediator. Father and mother come together. That is Hyojung. If we increase that kind of quality of the Hyojung, I am sure our Denver church can develop very quickly. No need to worry about second commandment, love your neighbor as yourself. As much as I love God, surely you love your neighbor. No need to worry second commandment. As much as I love God, surely God encourages you to love your neighbor. Treat them as yourself. Number 4. The era of the 천일국 requires an era in which those who show the models become capabilities. Just now I'm saying, now era of the faith is already gone. I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, you are the Messiah. Every morning you wake up, ask your father and mother, Father and mother, I believe in you are my father, I believe in your mother. Every day you need to say like that. Era of the belief already gone. Now era of the attendance, living together. Wake up every morning and show the smile because we are living together. Era of the attendance. So era of the attendance need to show. God is a living God. So even though you emphasize so much about the divine principle important, kindergarten is very important, Sunday school is important, attending Sunday service is important, even though emphasize it over and again, does not make sense. Need to show. Need to show. I came to Denver Church. I can feel, wow, I can find God here. I can feel. No need to looking for kingdom of heaven anymore. Kingdom of heaven right here. Wow. Denver Church. Family church. Just now when I see our Adonias, giving some speech, I feel she has already certain spiritual dignity. It's time to show. Not just only talking about. Show God is a living God. God is alive. We need to show. What's the ideal family? What's the ideal church? What's the model church? What's the ideal couple? We need to show. Then no need to witness. When you show something, automatically come. There is what's the butterfly and bees. And then honey somewhere. And honey try to go somewhere. I am here, please come, fly, come. Here, okay? The butterfly come to me, okay? All right? And bee, I am here. No need to witness. There is honey, there is true love. And then the butterfly. And then bee, they automatically smell. Where's true love? When we produce true love in Denver Church, spiritual world send all kind of the bees, all kind of the butterflies. This is the way to develop our church. Number 5. The age of 천일국 requires an age which absolute purity become capabilities and abilities. You look at that. Who is our ancestor? Archangel. Archangel is the what? King of fornication. Multiply everywhere. The culture of the fornication. Can you imagine about that? Full of the fornication. Everybody possessed by chapter to spirit, the spirit of the fornication. How can we run away from there? How can we really liberate from there? How do we prevent from free sex? Father said, only one way. Centering on absolute sex. You need to keep absolute purity. If you keep purity, even Bible said, blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Anyone keep purity? Father said, even your spiritual growth can grow up even 1 milli, even 1 centimeter. Grow up. My brothers and sisters, once you commit sin, you become slave of Satan. you can feel the pang of conscience. That's why do not commit sin. Do not become the slave of the Satan. That's why who can become leader in the future? Who keep absolute purity, because no more struggling, no more contradiction. My heart is very pure. I can see God. I can see true parents. I can see spiritual world. I can see you. What's going on? Absolute purity. Of course, God is a God of the forgiveness and always giving the, grace. Of course, we need to fix the problem. We need to really encourage our second generation, third generation, how they keep, their purity. In the future era, who can be a leader? Who keep purity? Who do not relate to, free sex? Satan's final goal, each one of you, let everybody without exception, let them fall. This is the Satan's final goal. He tried day and night, invade every moment, when there is a condition to invade. That's why we learn from true parents absolute sex. Absolute sex is the only solution. Okay, almost closing. So number 6, the age of 천일구 requires age of which character and personality become abilities and capabilities. My personality, my character come from where? Come from where? Come from self-dominion. You know how to control your physical body. Father said, before dominating the universe, dominate yourself. Why? You are, what's that? Microcosm of the cosmos. You control your physical body, control universe. That's why dignity comes from where? Self-control. Eating desire, sleeping desire, sexual desire, material desire. And your mind becomes object. Dignity comes from there. That's why anyone come to Denver Church, Columbia Church, everybody have certain spiritual dignity. Wow! How much powerful it is. And then number 7. The 천일국 era require an era in which those who can do what? Can do teamwork. Teamwork become capability and abilities. Now normally in the church, okay, in the past, they rely on church pastor very much, okay, very inspired by church people. Now the one-man show, the era of the one-man show is already over. Then what's the pastor? What's the minister of the mission in the church? You need to be a coordinator. You need to discover each person of the ability, capability, their talent. Let them contribute as the owner of the church. You provide that kind of environment. Work together. Teamwork. 천일국 era require that kind of leadership. That's why Father said, in the family, Trinity is very important. In the family, your Trinity. Who's your Trinity in the family? My parents, my Trinity. My spouse, husband and wife, Trinity. And then my children, the Trinity. This eternal Trinity. That's why you need to practice in the family how to function well among parents and spouse and children. And in the church, need to expand to the church. In the church, anyone come here as a family, expansion to family, to the church. You need to respect how to respect your senior. You need to respect how your old elder, your brothers and sisters, your colleagues. And you know how to respect, how to raise up your junior, your children. Trinity. Environment of Trinity in the church. This is a teamwork, how to work together. Just one man's dictatorship, maybe for the time being okay.
But that kind of era is gone. Everybody taking ownership as the owner of the church. You are the owner. I am the owner. He is the owner. She is the owner. Everybody owner of the church. Then, through this kind of teamwork, our church can develop very much. Last point. The era of the 천일국 requires an era in which the actual achievement of love become capabilities and abilities. Actual achievement. That's why you need to have the result of true love. You still don't have three spiritual children. That means, according to Father's word, you are still in the formation stage. You are still king. You still king. But when you reach the growth stage, everybody, without exception, minimum you have three spiritual children, not just only past, currently. Who serve you, who follow you, who obey you, who want to resemble you. You need to have three spiritual children. You need to raise three spiritual children. Through this way, you can multiply to love. If we really focus on multiplication of the true love, wow, 천국 era requires this kind of actual achievement. That's why even Bible chapter 1 and verse 28 said, be fruitful, increase in numbers, fill the earth and subdue it. Increase means multiply. Even family pledge 6 mentioned that our family, the owner of the channel, pledged to become a family that moves heavenly fortune by embodying the heavenly parents to perfect a family that conveys heavenly blessing to our community. Conveys heaven's blessing is multiplication. That's what we're talking about. Community, we are talking about tribal messiahship. We need to increase, we multiply, and then create the tribal community and practice what's the kingdom of heaven. One of the greatest attributes of the blessing is multiplication. As a blessed couple, you do not multiply like water, but become stagnant and become spoiled. As a blessed couple, you do not follow the principle of the blessing. The attribute of the blessing is what? The more you multiply, I am telling you. Just now, Naokimi Ushiroda, what is the purpose of our life? Create joy and happiness as the unification church members, as the older children. When you multiply through love, many people more involved and become tribal messiahs. Practice true love community. Everybody practice the same way. Automatically, God's kingdom of heaven will come to us. What capabilities, abilities are required in the era of the children? Number one, the quality of your love and heart, the quality of your 정성, the quality of the shoujong, and then your showing model become capability, the absolute purity become capability, your character and personality become capability, your teamwork become capability, and then finally, your actual achievement become capabilities. Thank you very much.